we showed an interest in wanting to talk to John Tesh there in Barcelona, and she has been on the phone all morning trying to find him, which is why we got a chance to play her songs.
And she found him. Hey, Johnny.
This is even more exciting than calling Buckingham Palace.
Thank you, Johnny. How are you, bud?
I'm tired, but I'm doing all right.
What are your hours like? I mean, it seems like every time we hear or watch the NBC coverage, you're there.
Well, at least for this week anyway. I get up about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then we finish about 7 in the morning.
Wow, long day.
Kind of like your hours. You know?
Let me ask you a question that I wondered the other night as I'm watching the ladies' floor exercises. There were like 7 names in a row that most humans shouldn't be able to pronounce, and you nailed them. Now,
saw the same thing last night.
Yes.
The floor exercises, female gymnastics.
Now, I want to know, do you have an earpiece in your ear and there's somebody backstage pronouncing the names into your ear before you have to say them?
No. I do have David Michaels in my ear, who's the producer who's putting together these great shows. But the only thing he's telling me is whether or not we're going to go to a replay. You know, it's just like you guys have called a football game, so you know what it's about.
No, but we don't have Natoya Klapninsky. Or now, either you have an earpiece in your ear, or you're just saying them wrong and nobody knows you are. Like, who would know?
It's like that Walter Cronkite thing, you know. Here in Phnom Penh.
Yeah.
What I do is I write them out phonetically. So whether it's Lavinia Milosevic or Svetlana Boginskaya.
See, look at
Check that out!
Svetlana Boginskaya.
You just write them out phonetically.
Well, now, tell us, because we've only been, we ourselves personally have only been able to plug into the Olympics every now and then. So far, what has been, in your opinion, the story of the Olympics?
Well, Pablo Morales was a great story in swimming, winning the gold medal after trying in the last 2 Olympics, and this being his 3rd. I haven't had a chance to see, a lot of the other events, but here at gymnastics, Kim Zmeskal, the world champion, was expected to win a gold medal, and she stepped out of bounds. It was so awful when it happened. She stepped out of bounds in floor exercise.
Is that like after a flip?
Accordingly.
After a flip? After a flip, like in the corner or something when she landed?
Right, exactly.
Wow.
What was it?
They have to, after a flip, very nice. You should be doing the commentary with me. So after that, and she fell down to like 23rd place, and
oh God.
Then all the eyes were on this little girl, Tatiana Gutsu, who wasn't expected to make it. I mean, it was such a touching story. A lot of people who did see it, saw this little girl burst into tears, and then her teammate Boginskaya holding her, and then they both start crying, and then she's supposed to be out of it, but then another unified teammate mysteriously becomes injured, so she gets back into it. So that story I thought was a great one.
Also, Doug, your comment when you were reeling these names off, you did show some frustration. You said these pinkos ought to have easier names. It's a communist plot. thought that was real personal and showed a side of you that we've never seen.
My favorite thing that happened so far was, and it was so difficult to figure out a way to say it on the air, but the other 2 commentators weren't going to touch it. This little Chinese girl, Yang Bo, was going last night, and you didn't see them in the team competition earlier in the week, but they were assessed 0.2 of a point, which is huge, for a penalty point because their leotards were riding up their butts.
Hey! Now we talked about this yesterday. One of our favorite parts. Oh, the gymnastics.
Oh, you're kidding!
I can tell you guys that, but how do you say that to 40 million?
How did you say it?
I said, there she is, Yang Bo here. And, a little bit of controversy this week among the Chinese women during the team competition. Let's just say it was a problem with their leotards.
Now, why would they deduct points for that?
Oh, my God.
Because I guess they didn't like the way it looked.
Were the judges thinking that they were doing it on purpose or something, or? I mean, to get...
I don't know.
Well, why couldn't they walk over and say, look, your leotards are warming up the crack of your butt. Why don't you pull that out, and then we won't take no points away?
Because they probably deduct points for, picking your butt.
Well, Which Elvis would have done. What they should have done is what all those beauty pageant ladies do, and that is, don't they spray like tough skin on their butts?
Yes.
Now, personally, to you, we're also wondering now, watching your coverage, listening to your coverage of gymnastics, for example. You seem to be so in the know. A lot of times, the announcer for whatever network will just say, "Yes, now tell us about this move," whoever your color person is. But yet, you seem to be able to decipher the moves and explain them very well. How much preparation did you go through, and are you learning as you go along?
Well, what a lot of people don't realize, and there's no reason they should really, is that for 6 years at CBS Sports, from 1980 to 86, I covered the National Gymnastics Championships, the World Cup and the World Championships, and then this year I covered the Olympic trials and the Nationals. So I've been around the sport for a long time. I've also done a lot of figure skating, which is a very similar sport. And my job, really, guys, is just to give the bio material. You know, I was a real devotee for so many years of Jim McKay. I'm sure you guys loved him too. Mm-hmm. And so it's just telling the stories, figuring out when to tell them, and staying away, knowing when to lay out, knowing when to shut up is probably a good way.
And knowing when to use the word devotee, I would assume, is an important thing to know. We're devotees of you.
One of the real thrills for me is that, as you guys know, I was involved musically with the games too this year. Is getting a chance to, sitting at the Olympic Games. I mean, come on, and hearing your music in headphones and then talking over it. I mean, this is a thrill I might not ever have again in my life. Now
they're playing it over the network coverage, but are they also playing it in the auditoriums?
No, they're not.
Oh, okay.
No, they have their own, Olympic themes and stuff. The record that I did for NBC Sports, has that like the late night theme on it and all the stuff we're using in gymnastics.
Well, dig the song they play when American wins a gold that you wrote, Star Spangled Banner.
That's a good one.
Nice job on that one. Kind of hard to hit the high notes.
Ooh. Listen, John, it's suck-up day here on the program, and even if it weren't, we would tell you that you are doing a fabulous job. You tie it all together for us as we watch.
Oh, thanks a lot, guys. I'm having a good time doing it. I would love for you guys to be here to see pageantry. I mean, I've never done Olympic Games before, and it's just something amazing to be sitting there knowing that at the end of it they're going to be playing somebody's anthem, and that these kids, especially in gymnastics, they've trained their whole lives for this. And you have no idea what's going to happen.
That's the thing. I don't know why I wasn't very excited about this Olympics, as excited as I should be. Looking forward to it coming up and, catching it when I can kind of deal. But maybe it's the coverage or just maybe it's the Olympic thing that gets you. But when I watch it now, I really, truly wish I could be there to experience history. To be at Olympics somewhere would be history. A lot of L.A. people got to do it a few years back, and I've never been to one.
In '96, we should all just go to Atlanta.
Are they having it in Atlanta?
Yeah, that's when the summer games are in Atlanta.
Well, I'll tell you what, I know some bars there, Johnny.
Johnny Cat?
Hey, speaking of that, is your wife joining you, or you just haven't seen her for weeks now?
Yeah, she's been here, and it's been you guys would love this. It's been very funny because she said, I'll go there, I'll hang out, and my stepson's here too, and it'll be a lot of fun. I'll watch all this stuff. And turns out that Hotel airs like every hour, and P.S. I Love You, that series on CBS, that airs like on weekends. So she has been like walking around with hats over her head because everybody's running around going, La Connie Select, La Connie Select. So she's having a good time, and she's not.
What do they call you, Johnny Touche?
They don't call me anything. They don't know who I am, and I like it just fine. Thank you.
All right, well, listen, John, you're doing a great job, man. Hang as long as you have to, but how about the babe situation? A lot of hunky babes over that way?
The hunkiest babe I've seen, and I got in a little bit of trouble in a review in some paper for it, was for calling her a babe, not using that word, was Svetlana Boginskaya, this former Soviet woman who is just drop-dead gorgeous, and who is the, gorgeous now. Come on.
Wish her swimsuit right up her butt. Didn't you say something like that?
Hey, Johnny, listen, tonight, before you do the broadcast, this may help it out to bring out those kind of comments. Slam down about 6 shots of Jack Daniels and then go do it.
And then try those names out.
Thank you.
Listen, keep up the truly good work that you're doing. And thanks for going on the air with us.
All right.
And come in here and be with us on the air when you have returned from Barcelona, and we'll talk again.
Okay, I'd love to.
Promise?
I promise.
All right, John. John Tesh, who is calling the Olympics from Barcelona, kind enough to get on the phone with us. What time of the morning is it over there right now?
It is about 6 in the afternoon there now.
Okay. So he's still broadcasting at this point?
Yeah, he's just getting ready to start. He said he sleeps from 1 in the
afternoon. No, he gets up at 1 and goes till like 4 in the morning or something.
Or till 7 in the morning.
7.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, well, a friend and very kind of him to get on the air with us. He is doing a fabulous job with the Olympics.